Jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is the court's power to hear a case. There are two types of jurisdiction, personal and subject matter. Why do we care about jurisdiction? Well, if you were filing a lawsuit, you'll have to know what court can hear your case. What court has the authority to listen and determine an outcome? Personal jurisdiction is the court's jurisdiction over the parties to the case. And when you file a suit against another party, that defendant must have certain contacts within the state in which you file a suit. For example, the defendant must either live in the state or, in the case of a business, operate in that state. They need to seek a benefit from the state in order for the court to have personal jurisdiction over that defendant. An interesting thing about personal jurisdiction is that it can be waived. So, for example, if the court did not initially have personal jurisdiction over a defendant, but that defendant sought some sort of remedy from the court, then a defendant has waived all future challenge to the court's personal jurisdiction over him or her. Now, the second type of jurisdiction is subject matter jurisdiction. A court can have subject matter jurisdiction if it is the type of case that it can hear. So, unlike personal jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction cannot be waived. If a court were to enter a judgment in a subject that they do not have jurisdiction in, then that judgment would not be enforceable. And we can see this in criminal court. So a criminal court can only hear criminal cases. For example, they would not have jurisdiction over a labor dispute. Business law cases are often seen in bankruptcy courts, and only bankruptcy courts have jurisdiction in these matters. In business law, corporations are considered legal persons, and the courts determine jurisdiction. Typically, a corporation is subject to personal jurisdiction if the state in which it is incorporated in or is doing business. For example, if a business intends to sell goods in North Carolina, even though their corporate headquarters are in Virginia, it's likely that the North Carolina court could have jurisdiction over a dispute. As you can imagine, cyberspace has introduced new challenges for determining jurisdiction. And to muddle through these issues, the court has to consider the following. Did the defendant conduct substantial business over the internet in the form of contracts or sales? And 2, was advertising active or passive? Now, passive advertising would be something that the consumer really had to seek out, possibly through word of mouth. But active advertising is when a company targets a certain group or target market. So, for example, if a company which sold software to college instructors for, even though they were based in New York, and gave me an email or mail flyer, North Carolina could have jurisdiction in that lawsuit because I live and work in North Carolina.